Hey Maria, how are you? Rob Cesternino, and really looking forward to chatting today because I feel like that you're at the center of just about everything from the finale. First off, congratulations on a really stellar game, especially three immunity wins in a 26-day game. Very impressive feat. How are you feeling overall?
I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling super proud of myself. It's been a really awesome journey to watch with my family, my boys, and yeah, I'm feeling really good.
Okay, I want to start off with something from the Final Five challenge. And I would love to just get your take here. And as somebody who has studied the show, that was very unusual what happened in that Final Five challenge, where ultimately they got you out of the game, where Kenzie and Liz worked together to beat you in the puzzle challenge. And I know on from social media, there was a lot of discussion about this. I would love to just get your take about that, and because I feel like it's maybe a slippery slope now if people can work together to beat somebody who's a big threat in the challenges.
Yeah, I've lost many nights sleep thinking about this, and obviously it felt incredibly unfair in the moment. But just like people say, it's a badge of honor to be blindsided,
Mm-hmm.
to be taken out that way, it hurt. It hurt. It hurt really, really badly. But what an honor to feel like it takes two of them to take me
Yeah.
down. At 47, now 48, but at 47 years old, I had them shaking in their boots, like they had to team up on me to take me out. So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I've woken up many nights thinking, what could happen? Should this have happened? Like, what could I've done differently?
Yeah. Okay. I want to go back to okay. So obviously we have a lot of discussion today about your decision at the final tribal council. Can you talk a little bit about? So you went out of the game not knowing that Charlie was plotting against you, correct? But then by the final tribal council, you did know about this. Can you talk a little bit about how you came to know and what you learned about Charlie?
Yeah, I actually at tribal, I didn't realize Charlie was coming for me. I think, he told me after the game, which he should have been. Like that's what true competitors do. You
Yeah.
ride together if you can, and you come for each other at the end. Um, my vote at that final tribal, it started at fire making. So I left at the final five, and I told Charlie, I was like, you got my vote, right? Like I respected his game. His game was my game. Like we played this game together and we played it really well. But when I saw Kenzie make fire, Kenzie had a look in her eyes that I have felt and I have had in my eyes many times in my life. And it triggered something in me like, she's a badass. She just did this. And then we come to the final tribal council. And it came down to Q's question to me of what are you going to do with that money? And I, as a mother, many times have given up so much of myself for other people, for my children, for my family. And coming on this show, this was for me. I took this leap for me with my family's love, with my family's support. But this was the one time in my life I said, I'm going to be selfish. And when those words came out of her mouth, I'm like, crap, here we go. Like, I am going to vote with my heart. This woman is about to get married. She wants to start a family, and I'm going to give her this money. And
Yeah.
I walked up those steps and I said, Charlie Kenzie, Charlie Kenzie, Charlie Kenzie, what am I going to do? And my heart won. My heart won.
Yeah. And you talked about that in the reunion show last night, and Kenzie is a great winner of the show for sure. Was there anything that Charlie could have done to have won your vote?
I don't know. The thing is that I don't ever want to go back and say, I should have done this. I should have done that. I think it was evident in the pizza reward that my mind won over. And I chose Q because my mind said choose Q when my heart said choose Liz,
Yeah.
right? And you can see how horrible that situation was when I went in there fully expecting to choose Liz because I wanted from my heart to choose Liz. And I went with my mind. It is really hard to separate your head from your heart. I don't know if there's anything Charlie could have done differently. It's not about why Charlie lost for me. It's why Kenzie won. It's what Kenzie did to push me over the edge.
Can you talk a little bit about your relationship with Q? Because I thought it was so interesting that you two ended up coming together. You seem to be the only person in the game that really understood Q and was able to have like a functioning, working relationship with him. Why do you think that was?
I think it started at the Tim vote. When Tim got voted out, I came back from our tribal fully expecting it to be Ben because we had a 6. We were embarking on this 6.
Right. And
And
we
when
never saw your reaction to that, really.
I know there's so much to talk about. I don't know how much time we have, but
Not a lot today.
when I came back and I looked at him, I heard Ben's voice. I looked at him and he said it had to be Tim. I was like, okay. And we can get into, if there's time, the secret scene of
Yeah.
Ben and I and why there was that distrust there. But once Q looked at me and said that, I'm like, there's something here. And it was just a look. It was a look that he gave me. Then comes Tiffany gunning for me after I won the pyramid in the water. And he tells me my number one, the one I feel most responsible for, is coming for you. And so the fact that he was willing to do that, I was like, this guy is super loyal. Like I want to play the game with loyal people. We'll go loyal to each other as long as we can. And
Yeah.
I saw that part of him. He has a huge heart, and people had an incredible amount of narrow-minded hate for him that I'm like, this guy is actually a really loyal guy.
So the Sega idol ultimately, I think, was a huge part of this season, and Gem created chaos, and ultimately that the chaos was felt throughout the season. Could you just talk about sort of like the long-term ramifications of the missing Sega idol?
Yes. So I adore Jem, and she made us dig, and looking back on it, and when she told us that it was her that had it was really hilarious. But what I want to bring up about that day is that day, everything was chaotic. Jem's whole personality changed that day. And we were like, what's going on with Jem? But that day, Charlie and I found an envelope stuffed in a tree. It was a journey envelope. The only other person that claimed to have a journey envelope was Ben. I had one and it was still in my bag.
Mm-hmm.
And so suddenly there was this, I know this is Ben or Tim's if Tim got an envelope because he went on a journey too. Why is that there? And then there was a constant back and forth of Tim and Ben putting things in their pockets, putting them in their bags. And so there was this just distrust that had started to, we could see it with our eyes. We were like, something's happening. But right now, Jem feels like we've got to take care of this. Ben and Tim can be shields for us a little bit more as we get into the merge. And so, that scene with Ben of when he comes to me and talks to me and why, can we work together? I'm like, number one, you haven't wanted to talk strategy for the first 2 weeks of this game with me. You want a brotherly love and hang out and rock and shred and whatever. I want to talk strategy. I want to play this game, then, excuse me, then you do this shady thing with the envelope. And now you want to come to me when Tim is gone. And so it just felt like so much of the game had passed. The game had been going before he was ready to start playing it. And so it was just hard for me to go back. Was that a mistake? Probably. You should never close a door on anything. But, without giving context to everything that happened before that scene, yeah, it looks super crappy to put that scene there.
Okay. After the challenge was over at the final 5, you go back and we see a little bit of you hunting for an idol. I was really thinking, okay, this is Maria's way out. She's going to find the idol here. How long did you search for the idol?
All afternoon. Afternoon. And excuse me. And, obviously nobody knew that Q had one.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he had one, and I thought maybe they'll put it back.
Yeah.
And honestly, like it would have been epic. I would have kept going as if I'm out. Sorry, you guys got me. And then, whip that idol out. But,
Do you think there was one out there? Because I feel like the precedent is that they would rehide the idol, but you must not have even been close because they didn't even show us like you missing it.
I honestly was hoping there was going to be a moment on TV where they showed me right next to the idol. Because then I would have been like, yeah, but I don't know.
And that's what happened to Lauren last year. But, we didn't even get that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And Maria, you talked so much about what it was going to mean for your family to get to see you play this game, especially in your exit from the game, what it was going to mean for your boys to watch their mom on TV. Could you tell us a little bit about their reaction to all of this?
Yeah, it's been so much fun to watch with them and with my husband. They didn't know anything about how the game went for me. And so getting to see their excitement, getting to see their shock, you know, holding them when they cried, you know, like it's been such an awesome experience. And like I said when I left, to me, it was the most important of how you lose. It's how you lose the game that I wanted to convey to them.
Yeah. How were the letters when you finally got them?
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Maria, thank you for being so gracious and answering all these questions. I'm sure that some of the stuff is not super fun to talk about, so I really appreciate you making some time to talk about it. Would love to talk more about your game at some point in the future.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay. All the best to you, Maria, outside the show. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.